Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly and we're back live as it should be on this channel. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of a Manchester United transfer debate, and you guys can get involved in the live chat, of course, if you're watching this live, or in the comment section down below. I'll read all of your comments and hopefully reply to them all as well. So make sure you do let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in this live stream in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, only 5 subscribers away from 800 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for support. But we're going to get into it, and my first player I want to talk about, and obviously this is because this news and a lot of the news I'm going to talk about has happened since I've been away, and obviously just have to move my chair down there. Obviously I haven't really been uploading too often on this channel, often enough really. Techman, Joe Willett, how are you doing guys? Thanks for joining, really appreciate it. But yeah, I haven't really been uploading on this channel enough, I haven't been streaming enough over these past few weeks, and for me I think it was just because there was not really much credible Manchester United news. There's a lot of transfer news. Man United, every single second of every day, there is a bit of Manchester United transfer news being written, even if the transfer window isn't even open. So, the news was coming out, but I just didn't think it was credible enough at all. And I thought, what is the point in me doing videos on this news if I don't even believe in it myself, if I don't even think it's right? So for me, I just wanted to kind of, let the dust settle, have a little bit of a break until, any sort of big news came out. The last video, of course, was on Odi Nagalo, and Odi Nagalo has signed the deal as well. So it seemed like my video got through to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the lads at Manchester United. So they probably didn't watch it. But anyway, I'm happy that he's staying. I'm happy that he signed the contract, and I'm hoping he can be a really, really good asset at Manchester United. But today, we're going to be talking about Manchester United transfers, and the first one I'm going to mention is Donny Van De Beek, the 23-year-old Ajax midfielder, revelation last season, obviously helping Ajax get to the semi-final of the Champions League and narrowly missing out on the Champions League final as well. So close. He came, I think, near the top 10 or even in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or nominations as well. So for someone who's 23 years old midfielder, it's a quality start to his career. And my only problem with Donny Van De Beek, I feel like we could get him for a good price. I don't think the price is an issue. I think he's a brilliant footballer. For me, I just feel like we've got so much midfield options as it is, with Pogba and Bruno Fernandes and Fred. These players, and Fred and McTominay, have started to come into their own, don't forget. They really have started to come into their own. I don't think it'd be fair to drop any of those players. And yes, you could argue you could play a Bruno, Pogba and Van De Beek 3 with Van De Beek doing a lot of the mopping up role type thing. But I think that we've got so many midfield options as it is. I just don't see why we should bring in another one. Or maybe we should look to bring in someone, but it shouldn't be top of our priority list. There's no chance a centre midfielder is at the top of our priority list. We brought in Bruno Fernandes, and I think he's done a fantastic job for us, and hopefully when the season restarts for us in about 8 days' time, hopefully we continue the good start that we've had with Bruno Fernandes in the team, because he's made the team tick, and with Pogba coming back in, those two could cause absolute havoc for defences. But to bring in Donny Van De Beek to that midfield, it would strengthen it. But I just don't see why you drop someone like Fred, who's been so good all season and has started to really prove himself in this Manchester United team, no doubt. Tech says, thoughts on Werner and Havertz? Obviously going to Chelsea, and obviously as being a Chelsea fan, you're going to be quite smug about that, and so you should. They're two brilliant signings if you can get them over the line, I should say. Two players I would have loved to see come to Manchester United. Obviously there's still time, you never know, but obviously it looks like they're going to go to Stamford Bridge, and Frank Lampard, if he pulls it off, I tell you what, it's very good. Very good. Welcome, Emmanuel. Thanks for joining, Emmanuel. Really appreciate it. Greetings from Ghana. Greetings, my friend. He says, I seriously want the Van De Beek rumours to be true. Squad depth matters. Look, 100%, Emmanuel. 100%. I think if we can bring in Van De Beek, I think it'll be a brilliant signing, and I think he's a fantastic player. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying I don't think he should be our first choice of player we should bring through the door. I think he's a brilliant player, but for me, we should be looking at other positions on the pitch, maybe a striker, because I feel like what we saw in this season was that Rashford, he was on brilliant form, and Martial was kind of he was intermittent, but when he was on form, he was a massive asset to us. But I don't think, realistically, if we're going to be looking to challenge for big trophies, and that's what I think most Man United fans want, if not all Man United fans, really. If you don't want to challenge for big trophies, I don't know why. Don't know why you're supporting Manchester United. But ultimately, I feel like we need to bring in a talismanic striker. We need to bring in someone who's a guaranteed 30-goal a season man. And I feel like, for me, I think we should be looking at that first and foremost, rather than looking at midfielders. 100%, if we can bring in Van De Beek and some other players, that'd be great. But taking into the fact that the current climate is that we're not going to be able to spend as much money as we could. Obviously, you've got the Jay and Sancho rumours as well. Jack Grielish we're going to talk about, and so much stuff. I just feel like Donny Van De Beek, whilst he's a very, very good player, and I'd 100% welcome him at Manchester United, Manuel, I just think that we shouldn't be looking to go with him first. But I see where you're coming from. I think he'd be a decent signing. Squad depth is definitely important. You've seen that with Manchester City and Liverpool, the past two title winners. Both had ridiculous squad depth. Ridiculous squad depth. I mean, Man City, when they won the title, when they won the title, most of the players on that bench would get into any of the other top 6 sides in the Premier League. And that is just mental. We haven't really had that in the Premier League. So squad depth is a massive, massive thing, especially if you're going to be challenging in all facets of English football. Tech, I agree, I do need a winger. They need a winger. And I think the Jay and Sancho rumours as well is why, I think Sancho is obviously the dream signing. I think, it seems like a deal that could be done realistically. I think the only thing stopping us is the money and the transfer value. And Dortmund obviously don't want to let him go. And Sancho might not want to leave. I've said this before. Sancho is only, 20 years old? He's got so much more time to go to these big clubs and win trophies. Whilst he's at Dortmund right now, he's killing it. He's doing unbelievable stuff. And I don't want to discourage him from coming if he is watching, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he said, I don't want to come. I would not be surprised, because whilst Manchester United is a big club, it's not as big. We're not as big as we used to, and it pains me to say that. We're not as big as we used to be. Obviously, in terms of commercial value, we're one of the biggest sports clubs in the world. But in terms of quality, in terms of the fear factor we used to have over teams, it's gone. It's finished. We don't have that anymore. So Sancho could be looking at Manchester United as a good, prospect, considering he's got some of his England teammates there. Obviously, Rashford, Harry Maguire as well. People he knows well, so be able to gel right into the team, get right in there. I just feel that there's a possibility that Jadon Sancho might reject us. And you know what? If he does reject us, I can't begrudge him. I really can't. In the end of the day, I feel like it'll be a matter of time before he makes the jump to the big club. And we need to make sure that we're there when he decides to. And that's all we can do. Texas, Sancho and Grielish would be a hit for United. Yeah, I think both of them would be very, very good. I think right now, I would say Jack Grielish is probably the most likely. Obviously, Aston Villa, with the season restarting, they're in trouble. They're in danger of potentially going down. I think if Aston Villa go down, I think Grealish will definitely move on. And if Manchester United come in for him, unless there's obviously competition from other clubs, and to be honest with you, Tech, I would not be surprised if Chelsea was to come in. I wouldn't be surprised with the amount of players they seem to be trying to get in. But ultimately, I think Grealish, for me, is a transfer that's more likely than the Sancho deal. But both are still young. Both can do a lot for us in terms of squad depth and in terms of improving our team massively. So for me, I think Grealish would be less money. However, I think Sancho is probably the better player. So obviously Sancho's the first choice, but I think Grealish isn't a bad second choice for me. Emmanuel says Sancho definitely has to be on the top of that list. He must have this summer. He's a must-have this summer. I agree, Emmanuel. I think, for me, Sancho is our top priority. If we can get Sancho through the door and we have a bit of money left over, why not go for Van De Beek or go for, somebody else, a defender, someone like that. But I think Sancho, I agree with you fully, has to be the number one priority. I think he could be a huge asset to our team. Massive massive. He'd gel right into that team. He's had experience playing for a Premier League club, playing in Manchester as well, you have to remember. So I think you gel very, very quickly. Dazza, how you doing, Dazza? Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out his channel. Really, really good stuff on there. But thanks for joining, Daz. Appreciate it. Evening to you, sir. Tex says if Sancho stays another year at Dortmund, that only plays into Chelsea's hands. Well, look, it's true. I just feel like he could do that. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, money talks in the football industry. There's no doubt money talks. But Sancho could look at his career and say, maybe just one more year at Dortmund, improving my game. Maybe we could have a little Champions League run with Dortmund. Who knows? Because I don't know if Manchester United are going to be in the Champions League next season. We'll see. Obviously, the way we were playing before the end, it looked like we could have made a big Champions League charge. Only 3 points behind Chelsea, of course. But it's up in the air now. It's up in the air. You never know. You never know whether we're actually going to get Champions League. We could drop in form. We might not be as good as we were before the break. So it's not a given. It really isn't a given. And I think if we don't get Champions League, why would Sancho want to come to a club that doesn't get Champions League when he could stay at Dortmund for another year and then properly reassess his options? Because the ceiling is so high for this kid. So high. Emmanuel says, Dortmund playing hardball with a transfer fee. Let's be honest, 100 million is too much. 87 million would be a fair deal. Of course they are, Emmanuel, because ultimately, you're right. Dortmund have the power in their hands. And especially when you've got a player of Jadon Sancho's quality, you're not going to want him let him go for anything less than 100 million. I think 100 million is, in Dortmund's eyes, is probably a bit of a. I think they're giving us a bit of a bargain. I think Dortmund would probably want to let go of Jadon Sancho for probably 120, 140 million because they know how important Jadon Sancho is. And if Manchester United had a player like Jadon Sancho, I wouldn't want to see him walk out the door for less than 150 million. But of course, that's just the kind of bias, obviously, for me. Someone like that with that sort of talent and quality playing for my team. And I totally understand it. Obviously, he's probably not worth that much at the moment. But if you look 5 years down the line, we're talking about a player that could be worth the same as Mbappe is right now. So transfer, fees in this day and age are ridiculous anyway, so I'm not surprised by that. Brother Gaming, how you doing? He says, would you take a transfer window of Mbappe, Sancho and Grealish this summer? To be honest, I don't think it's enough from Ollie. Well, look, I don't think any of those I don't think we're going to get Mbappe. I think Mbappe is destined for Real Madrid. I think he's destined to kind of go a similar route to Ronaldo, which is, build himself up from a few clubs, go to Madrid, stay at Madrid for most of his career, and then when he starts to kind of go down slightly, he then moves around. But I think Mbappe is destined for Real Madrid, so that's where I think he's going to end up eventually. I don't see him staying at PSG for too much longer, maybe another season, but I think the fact that they're getting nowhere near, realistically, winning Champions Leagues, Mbappe's the type of player that should be in a Champions League winning squad. No cap. So, for me, I think he's probably going to go to Real Madrid, so I don't see him coming to Manchester United anytime soon. Dazza says, Van De Beek has been a great player for Ajax. He would be a great addition to our midfield, but would he suit Ollie's style of play? It's a good question, and that's what we were kind of talking about at the start, was obviously we've got a three-man midfield. Pogba looks like he's going to be coming back into that midfield. How long Pogba's going to stay is definitely a question that it seems like we've been trying to answer on this channel for the last 12 months. It seems to have been the question that has just always lingered on this channel. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But for me, I think if Pogba leaves, then Van de Beek would be a good, replacement for Paul Pogba. If Pogba stays and the plan from Ollie is to keep Pogba and Bruno in that midfield, I just don't see why we should drop someone like Fred, because Fred has proven himself. He's stepped up into that role. So much criticism he got. He got so much criticism, and he's battered that criticism off, and he's become one of our best players, one of our most valuable assets in this team. And I just don't see how you can drop him. Scott McTominay as well is a really, really good asset for our team as well. So it's going to be difficult to drop them. I know, obviously, you have to go with quality over I know, friendship or loyalty to these players, because whilst they have been brilliant, if you can bring in someone better, obviously it's a cutthroat business, it's a results business, and I understand that fully. But Fred has been magnificent for us, there's no doubt about it. So it'd be hard to see how you can drop Fred. It'd be hard. Also, you've got Matic who's been playing well. So I think we do need that central defensive midfielder in there, and I think Van de Beek's a brilliant player, as I said. He's a fantastic player, and I would have him in the team. But it's about who you drop to bring him in. He also says, I think I think the only way the likes of Sancho, Van de Beek, etc. would go to United is if United got to the Champions League this season. I totally agree with you, Dazza, fully agree. And he also says, if United don't get Champions League football, then I'd be surprised if any of them decide to come. Exactly, there's no motivation there for them to come. There's no motivation, really, if they don't get Champions League, because you think, all players around the world want to play in the Champions League. That's what they want to do. They don't want to be playing Thursday nights. Football's not for Thursday nights. It's for Wednesday and Tuesday nights and Saturdays. It's not for Sundays and Thursdays. It's not. So players want to play in the best competitions, the premium competitions. They want to show themselves against the world's best. They don't want to be showing themselves against Steaua Bucharest. No offence to anyone who follows or supports Steaua Bucharest, but you know what I mean. It's just, yeah, I totally agree with you, Dazza. What are you smoking, brother? Came in. He says, do you reckon if we miss our Champions League this season, Pogba's a goner? I would be surprised if he's still here, but to be honest with you, I say that every summer. Every summer I've been, doing this channel. Every summer I keep saying, I'd be surprised if Pogba's here next season. I'd be surprised if Pogba's here next season. I say that every summer. And every summer he's still here, so I would not be surprised if he stayed. I wouldn't be surprised. I think one of the problems with Pogba, for me, looking at it, is who's going to pay that 150 million price tag that we want for Pogba? Woodward's not going to let Pogba go for anything less than that. So I don't know who's going to pay that much money for Paul Pogba. And if no one pays the money, he's not going anywhere. Unless he takes a pay cut, which I don't see Mino Raiola especially wanting Paul Pogba to do, then I don't see where he's going from there. So it's going to be an interesting one. As I said, I always say that Pogba's going to leave. I always think he's going to leave. I think this must be the time where he goes. But he never does, so he might still be here. Who knows? Who knows? And I think, I'm not saying I don't want him here, because I think on his day, Paul Pogba is one of the best midfielders in world football, if not the best on his day. And he's proven that in a Manchester United shirt, but just not often enough for me. And that's obviously always the problem is, you can have as much talent in the world. You can be as, you can be as good as you want. But if you don't show it week in, week out, then you're just as good as the guy who doesn't have that much talent, but, puts in a decent performance every week. Because at least they're showing some consistency. If you're not showing any consistency, then it's not, it's not valuable. It's not as valuable. Dazza says, I like Andres Pereira, but I don't think he's capable of playing at this level, which is sad to say. Listen, I think Andres Pereira, for me, I think a few seasons ago, he was kind of a bit of a youngster, and people gave him a bit of leeway. Now he's getting a bit older, and I think people are starting to think he might not be good enough for this level. I think he is more of a Europa League player than a Champions League player. He's someone who... sorry, I just read a comment from Brother Gaming. But ultimately, he's not a player who... He's a squad player. I think he's realistically a squad player. I don't think Andres Pereira is a first team player. As I said, I agree. It's sad to say, because I would have loved for him to hit the ground running and be a permanent fixture in the team right now. But he's a squad player, and he's someone who has good moments. But again, similar to Pogba, has good moments, but doesn't ultimately provide on the big stage when it matters. But yeah, that's the only problem with him, really. It's the only worry with Andres Pereira, I'd say, and I just feel that you need to be consistent, really. Asian Gamer, welcome to stream. Asian Gamer, it has been a while, mate. It has been a while. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. But yeah, we talked most transfers today. As I said, the stream's not going to go for too long. It was never going to be too long. I just wanted to kind of, get back into the swing of things, really. Just, say hello to you guys as well, because I haven't really streamed for ages on this channel. So I thought I'd come back, say hello to you guys, see how you guys are getting on. obviously the content will be coming back thick and fast. We've got Man United games coming up. Football is back, baby. It's back. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. Obviously the Spurs preview. It's going to be a big one, lads. It really is going to be a big one. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I'm so pumped for it to be back. Without the crowds, it might not be the same. And, you know, it's going to be difficult. Obviously, you know, Daryl, I've watched your Bundesliga streams as well. And even though there wasn't any fans, you still made it entertaining. So I'm sure I'll be able to do the same on this channel. Techman says, I'm sorry, but Pereira's awful. Yeah, don't be around the bush there, mate. No, I mean, look, I think Pereira, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out on loan. I would not be surprised. I think Solskjaer actually thinks he's not a bad player. And, you know, whether you think that's not great management, whether you think that's a bit worrying, but I don't know. Watch along, maybe. Look, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about the watch alongs, Asian Gamer. I remember I used to do watch alongs on the channel, so I might bring them back. Who knows? Brother Game says, can you answer my question? Which comment you on about? Yeah, I did answer your question. I said that I think Pogba. If we don't get Champions League, I think Pogba probably is going to leave. That's my thought. That's my thought on it. Raymond, how you doing, Raymond Moore? Welcome to the stream. Long time no see, my friend. I know it's been a long time. It's been too long. But thanks for watching, mate. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're just having a bit of a Man United chat, really. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be on for, but you know, anything you want to ask me, anything about lockdown as well. Hopefully, you guys have been having a good lockdown. You know, I kind of wish I was able to do more streams and talk to you guys during lockdown, because obviously it can be a bit of a lonely time for people. So, you know, I would have loved to do more streams like this. Unfortunately, my internet has been up and down recently, really up and down, which is frustrating because, you know, I want to do more content on this channel, I want to do more stuff, but when the internet's up and down, obviously streaming's just kind of impossible. So I apologise for that, but thanks to everyone who's come out today. Thank you very much. Add me on Instagram. I will add you on Instagram. I saw the DM. Don't worry. Just before I went live, I actually saw the DM, so no problem. I'll follow you on Instagram. Make sure everyone else follows Techman as well on Instagram. Really good stuff. Dazza says, looking forward to flushing Spurs out of the toilet seat. I hope so. I mean, they've obviously got Kane, Son, not Ali, obviously, but Kane and Son back. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. So I think we've got the ability to beat them, and obviously they don't have that home crowd advantage. So I think we've got a good chance. If we play to the best of our ability, we should beat them, in my opinion. But it's going to be a difficult one, I have to say. Obviously, you saw in the Bundesliga that I think the win percentage for away teams in the Bundesliga went up significantly because there was no home fans for them to go against. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Emmanuel says, what's your take on Tolisso rumours last night? Is it just one of those rumours because he's got a bad injury record? I don't know, mate. I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't seen much of the Tolisso rumours. Again, he's a very, very good player. Very, very good player. But yeah, I haven't seen much of the Tolisso rumours, but all I do know, I mean, we've got a resident Bayern Munich expert as well, so he can help you out on Tolisso, because he obviously watches him week in, week out. Dazza there, obviously. So, but yeah, I think Talisso's a great player. Again, similar line to Van De Beek. If we can get Tolisso in, I think it'd be a very, very good signing. But if we can't, then I don't think it's too much of a worry. That's just Winnie the Pooh in the background eating a bit of honey. That's all I can say. Top 4 prediction. Okay, top 4 prediction. Obviously, Liverpool, Man City. What was it? I think Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, and I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say Manchester United. Manchester United. Wait, what? Why'd you delete Dazza's message? Why'd you delete Dazza's message, Asian Gamer? Oh, I didn't even see it. But yeah, what have you been doing in lockdown? Not much, to be honest. Haven't been doing a lot. I've just been kind of vibing out. Obviously, I had to do a lot of schoolwork as well, so that's kind of what I've been doing. And yeah, just kind of, for most of it, locking down, as you'd expect. So yeah, that's. I haven't got much to report really. Baking, done a bit of cake baking. Made some lovely flapjacks, chocolate cake as well. So I've been on my baking. Let me know if you guys have baked as well. I don't know how this turned into the Sunday brunch. But it has. Raymond says, do you think Ollie will play Rashford and Pogba again? They look healthy now. I hope so, mate. I really hope so. Rashford in particular. If Rashford didn't get injured, I think he could have been a candidate for the Golden Boot this season. He could have been a candidate, no question. So I hope so. Pogba as well. I want to see him play. I think when he last played for us against Watford, he came on for only like 20 minutes, but he was the best player on the pitch. And I need him to be consistent, man. He needs to be consistent. If he's not, I feel like on his day he can be one of the best midfielders in world football, and it's so frustrating that a player has that talent. He's got it in him, but he's just not consistent enough. It's frustrating, it really is. So hopefully both of them are fit and healthy. They get back to full fitness, and if they can play to the best of their ability, I think there won't be many teams in the Premier League who will be able to stop us. And I hope I'm right. With that. Watch long. Yeah, basically, so watch long, if you guys don't know, is basically where I'll be watching the TV here or whatever, and I'll be keeping you updated with the score and just what's happening, and just you get my reaction. What I was thinking of doing potentially is not even doing a live watch along, but doing kind of an edited video watch along, where I just kind of put the camera up, I start recording, and then obviously after the game I put together all the bits of me reacting to goals and chances and stuff, and then put it up. So obviously you don't have to kind of skip through 2.5 hours of me watching a game of football, if you know what I mean, afterwards. So we'll see. I think there'll be a lot of experimentation. Obviously the fact that I'm on summer break now, so I've got a lot of time on my hands, a lot of time. But anyway, I'm probably going to end it there, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched the stream today. Really appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like if you aren't already, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll be back to doing live streams much more regularly. I really enjoy it. It's much better than a video. It's so much better than a video because I get to interact with you guys live and answer your questions. So for me, I'm really, really happy that you guys tuned in. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And stay safe in lockdown. Hopefully you're all doing great. And I'll see you very, very soon. But until then, thanks for watching. And as always, I've missed saying this, I'll see you guys in the next one.